Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from Wrath of Common. Why XRP may be one of the only cryptos worth holding to 2030. And they go on to cite the staying power that XRP has. It lasts for years rather than months or weeks. Then they go on to talk about cross-border payments, tokenization. But you know, XRP is going to run up long before 2030. By 2030, most people are going to be priced out of XRP. I'm expecting double digits by the end of this year. A lot of people are expecting triple digits early next year. Where do you think we're going to be by 2030? XRP by then is going to be a 4 or 5 digit asset, most likely a 5-digit asset by then. Today, on April 5th, the US government will reveal their crypto holdings. You know, this is something I've been waiting for. I want to see if the US government is holding all of that Bitcoin that they think they're holding. I think Biden sold off a lot of that Bitcoin, but soon we will find out. Breaking: Ripple lawyer Stuart Alderati joined CNBC to discuss the key takeaways from the 2025 State of the Crypto Holders report. Take a listen to this.
Why was it important to conduct this kind of research? And did anything surprise you in the findings?
So the NCA partnered with the Harris Poll to conduct the largest ever study of crypto holders in America. 1 in 5 Americans, 55 million American US adults own or use crypto. More people over the age of 55 own crypto than people under the age of 25. Crypto isn't just for the bros, the crypto bros. Nearly a third of crypto holders are women. Nearly as many crypto holders work in construction as do in the technology sector. Crypto isn't just for the rich. 26% of crypto owning households earn less than $75,000. That's just 4 very quick metrics or data points. And when you dig into the report, there is more to learn, all of which I think is, some is surprising, some is not surprising, some is really just confirming what.
Honestly, I did not think this was surprising at all, because I see the people in this space. Most of them came to this space to get rich. They're not rich when they get here. Most people see crypto as the last resort in getting rich off very little investment. Meaning you could take a little bit of money week over week invested in the crypto and walk away with a substantial amount of money. That's about to happen for XRP holders. And I know that when they talk about people in construction and people in tech, people in crypto come from all walks of life as well. And when you get here, you become part of one big, massive crypto family. I always said, XRP holders, it's not so much that we're an army, we're more of a family, a global family of XRP holders. A proposed bill would formally exempt crypto assets like Solana and XRP from SEC oversight, but the move could have ripple effects beyond digital assets. What Tom Emmer's working on is a bill that keeps the SEC out of crypto. And right now we have a pro-crypto SEC. But what about 4 years from now, when we get a new administration? Maybe we end up with an SEC that wants to crack down on crypto again. This bill would put an end to that. In other words, crypto would be future safe from the SEC. And I like the idea of that. He also said that the Securities Act of 1933 should be exempt when it comes to blockchain and fungible tokens, and that no cryptocurrency should be a security going forward. I want to see if that bill gets passed. I think that would be very good for crypto investors. XRP has nothing to do with messaging. Here are 4 different documents that confirm RippleNet provides messaging, clearing, and settlement services using XRP for cross-border payments. The ISO argument is back once again. People keep saying that XRP is not going to be utilized inside of ISO. But what RippleNet does is it's messaging, clearing, and settlement. And that's a very big deal because SWIFT is just messaging. And that messaging is being changed through ISO. The real link between XRP and ISO 222, more ISO 222 adoption, more banks compatible with RippleNet, more potential for ODL usage, more demand for XRP. It's indirect, but it's a logical path. That comes from all things XRP. But I went over to Grok and I asked how we move value inside of ISO messaging utilizing XRP. And this is what Grok came up with. So 1, transaction setup. A bank or payment provider initiates a cross-border payment using RippleNet. For example, sending $10,000 from the US to Europe. They might use XRP as a bridge currency. USD to XRP to EUR. 2, ISO 222 messaging. The payment details, amount, currency, sender, receiver, etc. are formatted into an ISO message. This message doesn't contain XRP or move it. It describes the transaction. That's what messaging is. Value movement. RippleNet executes the transaction on the XRP ledger, where XRP actually moves value by being bought, transferred, and sold to complete the currency exchange and settlement. This happens outside the ISO message. Confirmation. Once settled, RippleNet can send an ISO compliant confirmation back to the involved parties, reporting the completed transfer. That's how you use XRP inside of ISO messaging. And that's why XRP is compliant. So XRP doesn't move value inside of the ISO message. Those messages are just data, not a transport mechanism. Instead, XRP moves value on the XRP ledger, and ISO messages can be used to coordinate and report that movement when integrated with a system like RippleNet. The standards rich data fields allowed to reference XRP as part of the transaction. And you could say the same about XLM, XDC, HBAR, QNT, IOTA, Algo, ADA, because they're all ISO compliant. But there's a reason that just those handful of cryptocurrencies are compliant with ISO messaging. I tend to call them ISO cryptocurrencies because it's easier for people to understand that. But this is a more thorough breakdown on how XRP will be utilized with ISO messaging and why ISO is going to be a very big deal. This comes from Bluehawk Legend. Stablecoins are not securities, says the SEC, but yield-bearing tokens may be different. When it comes to yield-bearing tokens, they don't really say too much about yield-bearing tokens yet. They don't even know how to classify them yet. But when it comes to stablecoins, they're going to be totally safe. They're not going to be securities. And now everybody's looking to see if RLUSD can be utilized inside of ISO 222. Why can't it? Because Ripple is already compliant. The only difference is you go across the XRP ledger utilizing XRP as the bridge and RLUSD as, let's say, the digital dollar. And it could even come out on the other end as the digital euro or any other currency. But this is why ISO is going to be a very big deal for a handful of cryptocurrencies. And then there's this. Tether doesn't need to go public, says the Tether CEO. And Zach Rector said, or you can't because you wouldn't pass an audit. And then Tether went on to do this. Tether to stay in the US market despite possible USDT ban. The CEO stated that even if the US legislation bans USDT issuance, the company will not exit the market. Instead, it plans to launch a new payment-focused stablecoin that complies with US regulations. He emphasized that USDT is more suited for emerging markets. So he already knows that USDT is done in the United States. And here's a fun fact. Most of those emerging markets are also running on US dollars. So when the US dumps Tether outside the United States, it's not going to be compliant in those countries either, because they're going to have stablecoin regulations as well. The whole world is going to have stablecoin regulations very similar to MiCA and the United States. But now he's going to launch a new stablecoin. So where does that leave USDT? Where does that leave Bitcoin? Because if Tether is going to abandon USDT, that means they're just going to let it collapse out at some point, apparently. So now they're going to push a new stablecoin instead. Let's see where this goes from here. Breaking news. IRS to lay off 25% of its staff in major downsizing move. Now, when it comes to the IRS, a lot of people say, well, tariffs are going to get rid of the IRS. But that's not going to happen this year or next year. Maybe the year after that. But it's not going to happen as quick as people think. Donald Trump pivoted. He now says we're going to have major tax breaks instead of saying we're going to end the IRS. The IRS is going to go over to being fully automated, along with the rest of the government. That's what I see really happening, because we're pushing into the digital age. The good thing is he could possibly do away with capital gains tax on US-made cryptocurrencies. That would be a major win for this administration. And it would be a major win for XRP holders at the same time. But this would make Donald Trump the true crypto president if he was to do that. And as far as the IRS, a lot of people, I keep seeing them saying they're not going to report their crypto holdings to the IRS. You don't have to report it because Uphold's going to report it. Coinbase is going to report it. It's not like you're going to avoid anything. Later down the road, you will most likely end up with a letter from the IRS because they're tracking everything at Uphold, Coinbase, and any exchange that does KYC, Know Your Customer, or AML, anti-money laundering. And if you're not storing your crypto at an exchange that's following the rules, there's a good chance that when regulations do come, a lot of these exchanges are going to disappear overnight. And if you're storing your crypto there, your crypto is going to be gone because that exchange is just going to fold up and swallow all of your crypto with it. That's why it's so important to store your crypto on a cold storage wallet like Decent or Ledger or whatever other wallet that you choose to use. Don't store your crypto on the exchanges. And definitely stop talking to the bots in the comment section. I still see people doing it. I'm not sending you a WhatsApp number. I'm not texting back and forth with you. You are going to lose your crypto. The bots want to steal your crypto. I even see people on X saying that I was the one that stole their crypto. No, you were interacting with bots in the comment section and you fell for something that sounds too good to be true, like the airdrops and where Ripple's gonna double your XRP. Nobody is doubling your XRP. Keep your crypto safe. We're too close now for you to lose your crypto. And until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.